So Chelsea Football Club, as the elite level football club that I grew up watching, is well and truly finished. There are many reasons for this, being fans, players, ownership, hierarchy, and the managers that we have employed in the last couple seasons or so. So with an elite level club like Chelsea, you need to have an elite level mentality. I don't think this club at the moment in time has the mentality, well, anywhere really, fans, players, and my kind of manager. We know the ownership don't really have the mentality, because otherwise they would have brought players in the January transfer window, but I'm going to be going over that in a little while. So the mentality absolutely reeks from the top to bottom, really, just absolutely bang average mentality from players and managers. I've got a load of quotes that Maresca has, said in the press conferences in the last few weeks about top four and all this malarkey. I don't understand how you can be Chelsea Football Club and just hope for top four. I understand Champions League's good and all, obviously, but people obviously want to play Champions League, but I don't understand how you can throw cups like the League Cup and the FA Cup out the window for a league game. I don't understand that one bit, to be honest, because I understand this was a few weeks ago. Maresca obviously lost 2-1 to Brighton in the FA Cup, which I was extremely pissed off about, because he threw that kind of away for the League game the following week against Brighton. I don't understand how you could be a manager of any team, really, and just disregard cups and just choose and pick in which ones you want to actually take part in and take seriously. Newcastle beat us in the League Cup, and they're in the final of the League Cup. Like I've said, with a manager of any team, I don't think you should be kind of throwing cups away in order for league position. Like, what does second and fourth, potentially 50 season, get the exact same thing? I could also say, depend on what team you support. 6th and 20th, well, 20th is a bit ambitious, 20th to 17th get relegated, but let's say 6th to 16th, pretty much get the exact same thing. Because if I'm being honest, if United get into the Europa League, I don't think they're winning it, so what's the point of them being in it? They're just in there for the money. But that's another topic for another video, which I will go on to at the end about upcoming videos, but this video is solely Chelsea based and related. So obviously Maresca has, I say picked and choose, kind of taken the league more seriously, but I say that he's got us into 5th, 6th at the moment, so wouldn't even say he's taking the league seriously at the moment. But as a manager of Chelsea Football Club, your aim should constantly, every season, be to win a trophy. I understand we are in the Conference League round of 16 against Copenhagen. We could potentially win that. I'd imagine we'd win that. I'd put my money for us to win that, but Chelsea being Chelsea, I don't know. We should be called the West London Bottle Jobs, because that's all we do. But as a manager of every club, I feel like your ambition at that season should be to win a trophy. Doesn't matter what trophy, as long as you win. We base our clubs on sizes of trophies won. For example, if I were to banter with a Real Madrid fan, they've got so much trophies on us. They've got 15 Champions Leagues, we've got 2. They've got a load more trophies, whereas if we have the discussion with Spurs, we banter Spurs because they're bottle jobs and they don't win anything, we've got more trophies. That's how we kind of base our football team opinions on, basically, just how successful we are. I don't understand how fans and managers now are saying success is top 4. Give me a break. Actually, have you been locked in some mental asylum? Have you been doing a session with Bonnie Blue and Lily Phillips to the point your head's just gone waffle? Just full on, they've just stuck a vibrator in your ear hole and it's just doing a little vibration. I don't understand how deluded and absolutely ridiculous people with them opinions, how you can class top 4 as success for a big club, I guess you can say. People like that, they used to go on special buses to schools. Now they just roam around on Twitter. It's actually embarrassing how low the standards of obviously Chelsea and other clubs have fallen, to the point where they're hoping for top 4, like I've mentioned with Maresca and his quotes saying that he was hoping for top 4 and then changed his mind and then said top 4 in the next 1 to 2 years, or in the next 5 to 10 years, Chelsea will be challenging for the title. We haven't won the league since 2017. We haven't won the cup since 2018. We've not won the League Cup since 2015. We've not won a trophy for about 3 years. The last trophy we won was the Club World Cup. We were the best team in the world 3 years ago. Now look at us. We're challenging with Brentford and Brighton. We're copying the model of Brighton just for them to beat us 2 weeks in a row. When Thomas Tuchel came into Chelsea, within the space of 5 months, won the Champions League. Got into 5 finals in what? 12 months? Maybe. Yeah, about 13, 40 months. Thomas Tuchel got into 5 finals, won 3 of them. Champions League for the 2nd time, Super Cup and Club World Cup. We were winning trophies. And then the following season, he gets sacked. And then we've had 3 different managers now? 4? It's actually embarrassing because, being Lampard, obviously Maresca now, Poch, and Graham Potter. I don't understand. Bruno. Wasn't Bruno our gaffer for a little bit? I'm not too sure. I can't really remember, to be honest. But anyway, we had a complete elite mentality. We don't anymore. Why? Because obviously roles have changed, mentalities changed, standards have lowered, and expectations have decreased, unfortunately. But one thing I do want to get at is with the sporting directors, how can you not sign a striker, a recognised number 9, in January? Because both our number 9s are injured. Mark Gu and Nicholas Jackson. We need a recognisable number 9 who will put the ball in the back of the net. Yes, I understand Jackson is very good with his all-round build-up play. Understand in the modern game you need that striker to help with your build-up going forward. But look at Haaland. Haaland's a bang-average footballer. He's awful. He's got no first touch, but he'll put the ball in the back of the net. He's breaking records. He won City the Premier League 2 years in a row. He won them the FA Cup. He hasn't won the FA Cup. He's won them the. He won the. He did the one. Erling Haaland was the focal point to why City won the treble, because he would put the ball in the back of the net. That's what you want your number 9 to do. He's breaking records at his age. We need that. Well, every team needs a number 9 like that. I don't understand how you can be Chelsea Football Club and not sign a recognisable number 9 who will just hang around the 18-yard box. Just hang around and put the ball in the back of the net. Because that's what we need. Because we're too reliant on Cole Palmer, who hasn't scored in about 4 games. We're too reliant on them. Too reliant on a 22-year-old. Obviously, I understand how old's Haaland? 23, 24? But that's because he's an elite goal scorer. He's an elite striker. He'll put the ball in the back of the net. Because with the build-up play, they've got players. They've got world-class players who will take on a man who's got the footballing IQ to make a movement or to make a pass to Haaland for Haaland to score about 3 goals. He's an elite goal scorer, and that's what Chelsea fucking need. We also need an elite goalkeeper. I don't understand how you cannot sign a world-class goalie as well. The thing with Chelsea, we've got a bang average squad. I would probably keep 5 or 6 of our main starting 11 for next year. The rest I would just get rid of because they're absolutely dog shit. I do not rate most of our players one bit. I don't understand how we can have such a great squad with obviously Thomas Tuchel involved, but he won the Champions League with Werner, Mount and Havertz as a front three. What happened to coaching? How does he win the Champions League with that front three? And we're struggling with our team at the moment that we've got right now. I find crazy how we got Maresca in charge now, who's trying to copy Pep. And with that, with the sign that I saw at the protest, "Win or fuck off, win at Arsenal," damn fucking right, because Arsenal are the main culprits for this whole PR Premier League propaganda of constant youth projects and sucking off managers and getting a dog-called win after giving Man City the league. Like I've said, the whole video about PR and journalists and football will be later on in another video, but this is so, like I've said, solely reliant on Chelsea. But with all like the mediocre mentality that we've had in the last few weeks or so, is just a complete throw after how shit we have been. We have lost so many points when scoring first and being in a winning position. I don't understand how. This is one thing that does bother me with Maresca. And Leicester fans did warn us last season about his dodgy subs, about he'll throw things away. Leicester almost threw away, what, a 19-point lead in the Championship last year? That's exactly happened this season. Obviously not the level of lead that we had, or they had. It's the points, we were a couple points of Liverpool in December. Now we're what, 5th, 6th? It's the exact same thing that Leicester happened last year. And their dodgy subs as well last year, which Leicester fans did warn us about. And it's the exact same thing that Maresca is doing this season. I'm not too sure what his mentality in the press conferences were like, but I'm assuming it's a completely different standard to Leicester, to Chelsea, to the level of pressure that you have to... The amount of pressure that you're under as a Chelsea manager to perform is second to none. Why? Because we're an elite level club. We don't take no shit. I grew up winning all the trophies, but unfortunately football has now gone down this massive PR route and more focused on youth projects and having a day out with your mates at the football game, not about elite level winning, to be honest. Because when I play football personally, I want to win. I'm like, if I fucking lose, I'm fucking pissed off. I'm sure everyone else is, but nothing beats winning a trophy with your club. Like, I was buzzing when we won the Club World Cup, buzzing when we won the Champions League, absolutely buzzing about an FA Cup victory, absolutely buzzing about winning the FA Cup. I grew up winning the FA Cup. I grew up on the road to Wembley. It'll be a Saturday in May, having a barbecue, whatever, and your team are playing in the FA Cup final. But we don't get that luxury anymore. Why? Because we're more focused on getting into Champions League spots than actually fucking winning. We're not too far off Arsenal of trophies. So why don't we have that mentality to overtake them in winning trophies? Why are we more focused on getting Champions League? I don't understand, because let's be real, are we going to win the Champions League next season with Maresca? Are we going to be fucking Barcelona? Are we going to be Atletico? Are we going to beat Real Madrid? Are we going to beat Man City? Are we going to beat fucking Inter Milan? No. So why don't we take these cups seriously with these managers? We almost won the Carabao Cup with Poch. Almost won the Carabao Cup and FA Cup with Tuchel. Imagine that. But unfortunately, these managers now, not only Chelsea, Arsenal are culprits of this. Spurs and United, but these teams are constantly going down this PR route and wanting to... My voice is going slowly, but why? I don't understand how you can just throw cups away and choose and pick what competition you want to take seriously. With Chelsea Football Club, we should be aiming for the major honours and winning the trophies. It might make me sound like a glory hunter, but what's the aim of elite sport? You either win or you lose. No one remembers the loser. Everyone always remembers the winner. As a fact, nobody remember who come third or fourth or fifth or even second. Everyone always remembers the winner because it's in the history books. It's why teams like Real Madrid, Barcelona, Chelsea, United are successful, lifting the gold at the end of the season. So we had our protest just before the Southampton game, and I think about 200 to 300 people turned up before the game. And I've got mixed opinions on it, to be honest. I didn't really see much on social media about getting the sporting directors out, more towards the ownership, more towards Bowley and being greedy and stuff. Obviously, I saw just a load of cringe football chants that were getting sung about us hating Tottenham. What does an Arsenal chant about hating Tottenham have to do with a Chelsea protest? To get, I don't actually know what the protest was for. So I don't understand what relevance a Arsenal chant has towards a Chelsea protest before a Southampton game. Doesn't really make so much sense. And most of it was just chanting. I understand we set off a flare, but we can't just have one protest and then have no more. We've got to constantly have protests every league game, every home league game, every other week, every other month or whatever, every 3 weeks or whatever. We need to have constantly get down the sporting director's throats, because some people I've seen online are Maresca out. Now, I understand why they are Maresca out with all the poor decisions and the poor comments and the poor mentality he's got, but if we sack Maresca with the clowns as our sporting directors, then they're just going to get another yes man in, another youth project manager. So why don't we try and aim to get the sporting directors out first? I understand this is going to be a very controversial opinion, and not many people will agree with me. Everyone will probably say me probably abuse and death threats, but there's just words on the screen at the end of the day. But we should more be aimed towards getting the sporting directors out first and then the manager, because how do I know they're not going to bring another yes man, another youth project manager like Maresca? I need to know that we're in the safe hands to bring someone in. But I don't think they'll leave. I think they'll just stay, and then we'll be a complete and utter mess. This is why protests are good, sending the correct message and not just there for a jolly up with your mates. Protests are good if you're sending the correct message out, not just chanting football cringe stuff and there with your mates. As long as you're sending the correct message, the right message, at the correct times, constantly, then they'll feel more under pressure to perform. Because we're not, obviously we're going to win the Conference League, or I say hopefully, fingers crossed, we win the Conference League. Next year, I want to see what we do. I want to bring in the correct players. There's so many players still, after spending so much money, there's still so many players and that need to go, and areas that we need to get a goalie, we need to get a striker, we need to get a centre back, we need to get a proper winger, because at the moment we've got fucking Shirley Carter and Jordi El Nino as our wingers. One of them's still waiting for a drugs test, and obviously Jordi El Nino has scored and got an assist tonight. Obviously Jordi El Nino performed well tonight, Pedro Neto, and obviously Mudrik's got his drug test waiting, but we're in the wrong race. This is what does bother me. We're constantly in a top 4 race. Well, last few seasons we've been in a top 6 race. As Chelsea Football Club, we should always be in the title race, not in the top 4 race. We should always be in the Olympic race, not the Paralympic race. That's how I like to compare. Top 4's for the Paralympics, and the title charges for the Olympics, for the Olympians and the Paralympians. That's how I like to compare. Because I don't understand how we are Chelsea Football Club. I know how many times I'm going to say it in this video, but it just annoys me how we've got just bang average mentality in players and just choose what we want to turn up in the games that we want to turn up in. We need to turn up in every game that we can. Next year, I want to fucking go proper at the cups, especially the FA Cup. Especially the FA Cup. I doubt we'll win the league, because probably City will be back. City will probably sign another 5 players and be back up there trying to win the Premier League. The Carabao Cup we've not won since 2015. The FA Cup we've not won since 2018. Last 2 times we had proper gaffers, no youth project managers. We had proper gaffers with a proper mentality, a proper just aim and success to win. But unfortunately, we don't have that anymore. Chelsea Football Club is well and truly buried as the elite level club that I grew up watching.